Ladies and germs, it's everything you want. It's nothing you need. With special guest Joey Paris this week.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
I make an appearance every once in a while.
Local meme poster and convention connoisseur and lover of booze.
I am a lover of booze. That is a fact. Do I look at you or do I look at the camera? Is this?
You know.
Either or.
At the end of the day, you have to realize nobody watches this, so it doesn't really matter where you look.
All right, fair.
So
I've been there. I know what that's like.
You just kind of wing it, you know. But this is now our third podcast recording. On the third week, we've had to drop.
You managed to get me on a third podcast?
Well,
Wait,
no.
No.
The podcast has been going on for a little while.
Okay.
We've lost 2 podcasts now to crap recording.
Okay. I've had that happen.
I figured out a couple things. We had a bad cable on one mic. We had
Yep.
audio tweaks wrong on the other, and it's been a mess. So
Okay, because like
Thomas and I just
you
spent the
asked,
last-
you asked me a week ago to be on this podcast, and I was like, yeah, man, I actually think I can make that work. And
I was like, oh, he's
You
gonna
got
be
me
busy.
here. Like,
he's gonna
I'm
say
here.
no, and here we are. But
okay, so you've had more than 3 podcasts. Then.
oh, absolutely.
Okay, all right,
We've been doing
good.
This should be
This
this should be number 20, but it's more like number 17. Thanks to,
that's fair.
18, thanks
Something
to
like that.
Screw
Yeah. No,
recording.
18. Number 17 was the OG crew.
The OG crew.
Sorry, we
yes,
got
yes.
our
Yeah, of course.
I know who the OG crew is.
But we're here, so we are what?
Me
3,
neither.
4 days, 5 days away
Couple
from
days away.
E3?
Saturdays kind of when it really starts.
It depends on your definition of when E3 starts.
For me, it starts Sunday.
Didn't it kind of start today with the whole Google whatever?
So Google Stadia, which it actually wasn't part of E3, they were just like, hey, we're doing a thing
It's just around the time.
around the time. So
That looks terrible.
it's a subscription model. Looking at, what was it, 9? Did
No,
anyone see it?
No, the big thing about it is
$9
that
an hour?
Yeah, no,
$9 an hour. Wow, that's
No, the big thing
above
about it that
minimum
I
wage.
saw-
That's
They might as well charge that because apparently if you stream a game in 4K at 60 frames a second
oh, it's the
for-
streaming service.
for 65 hours, that will use up a terabyte of data.
And a lot
Okay.
of companies have data caps.
And like, if you have like a really bad ISP, which here is just everybody.
yeah, Thankfully, we don't have data caps, but like,
Yeah, I don't either, but a lot of people
I've
do.
got friends in like Fort Lauderdale, South Florida. They have data caps, and they
And if after 3 days of gaming you've hit your data cap
Yeah.
for the
play
month, because that's what apparently is if you do the 4K.
And it's also like if you're playing a single player game, you're gonna have to pay $10 a month if you want to play it.
yeah, so it's $10 a month for
Now,
not
do you,
the
do you
newest
have to buy
release.
the game as well, or are you paying
No.
strictly for the streaming service?
Some
Strictly
games
for
you
the-
do.
It
some
depends,
games- It depends
yeah.
on the publisher. Actually, they were saying on how publishers have the right to be able to like do their own part of the streaming service. So as opposed to like EA has their games there, they
Okay.
can put like a own package where you pay a month to play just their games. So it's kind of like really bad.
Okay, gotcha.
That's kind of off-putting for me.
Yeah, and then there's a free model as well. So the free model, which is the buy the game, you buy each game. That's 1080p. I think 60 frames a second still. I don't know.
I believe so. Yeah.
But the biggest announcement to come from the Google thing, Baldur's Gate 3.
I've never played any of Baldur's Gate.
I don't know if I've even
Or
heard
Divinity.
of Baldur's Gate before.
Everyone was like,
yeah.
It's basically
it's
like
an
a
old,
Dungeons
like,
and Dragons like game.
Like from the like late 1990s.
It sounds cool.
It was.
I've just never
I
played
want
it.
to
Good
say
name, man.
Baldur's
Give me
Gate
that.
was originally by the original BioWare, like the original people that made BioWare,
Like,
which they're all gone now.
no, I'm thinking 2K games. Never mind. I was gonna say System Shock, the BioShock before BioShock, but
Oh, yeah.
BioWare,
No.
BioShock. Both start with
BioShock,
don't mind me,
BioWare, same thing.
Yeah,
Same deal.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
You know, but you're right. Like they're disbanded.
The other big announcement this week: Apple is selling a $1,000 stand.
Yes. That was. I am actually up to date on this one. I'm out of tune on the game stuff, but yeah, the $1,000 Mac Pro stand was.
Quite something.
Yeah, they got booze in the.
I think it's just bad marketing. If they had said it's a $6,000 monitor, everyone
I
would have
agree.
gone, "Oh, that's expensive, but it's Apple, whatever." No one would have batted an eye. But because they said it's a $5,000 monitor
Yep.
with a $1,000 stand,
That was a
that's where it was like,
dumbass
"This is
move.
stupid."
Well, because like when you're gonna say like a price or something, you better package it all together.
Right.
Not no, it's like, oh, this expensive plus this.
And they should have had an option where it's like you go to buy it and it's $6,000, and then you could check a box that says I don't want the stand, and then it becomes $5,000.
Yeah,
that
that
would
could
have looked
work,
much
yeah.
better.
But
But
still, everything.
it's a $5,000 monitor with those
If you want-
$1,000 stand. Is
No, if you
absurd.
want the whole kit of everything put together, you're spending around $10,000.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, and they say if you actually max out the specs of the Mac Pro,
Oh, it was like
it's like $40,000.
Yeah.
Now, that does seem crazy. That is certainly out of my price budget by any stretch of the imagination. But I was watching. I'm gonna fuck up his YouTube channel name. It's like MKBHD.
Yeah, I know what you're
That
talking
guy.
about. Marcus.
Marcus. Yeah, Marcus. And he did a video kind of explaining it in the types of companies that are buying monitors that have to be that accurate.
Pixar.
Like Pixar,
and-
Disney, they're the same. But
it's
for them, they're already buying $40,000-$50,000 monitors. For them to buy a setup from Apple that's all inclusive at that price,
It's like
for
whatever.
them that's kind of expected. We are
Yeah.
not the target
And
audience.
see, that's the
for
problem.
those.
Is the problem is when because Apple makes things for professionals. They even call it the Pro line. The problem is
Right.
the consumers go, oh, it's the Pro line, which just means it's like top of the line
Right,
for
right.
me,
Well, you know, for
which
example-
it's not.
Right, I work with a MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
That's a $1,200 laptop. It's definitely kind of expensive for a laptop. That is not a $40,000 computer. Those are very different calibers
Yeah.
of. There's a big difference between the Mac Pro and the MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
Well, you know, with 10% of that money, you can make boundless, like a better computer than 40,000.
All I know is on the MacBook Pro, I can tweet very quickly.
Yeah,
Like most people who own one, they just use it. For
I mean, I love my MacBook Pro. Don't get me wrong, but
It's not $40,000.
it's not a $40,000 computer.
But yeah, so that was Apple's big announcement for the gaming world was $1,000
Yeah,
stand.
and they have 4 graphic card ports. I heard, with like the most powerful.
Yeah, with up to 128 gigs of VRAM in the Mac Pro.
Yeah, and like 1.2
GPU.
terabytes of RAM. You know, whenever you need to,
It'd be like that sometimes.
you know,
When you really want to get that
Yeah,
frame
when you
just right.
single-handedly want to bring back Bitcoin.
Yes. Absolutely. Oh. Ooh. I asked you about Bitcoin January 2018,
I
which
remember
was
that.
the fall of Bitcoin. I was like, hey, I'm thinking about getting into this cryptocurrency thing. What do you think? You're like, yeah, that's a cool thing. And I was like, cool.
Yeah, sorry about
I'll
that.
buy some Bitcoin. And then 2 weeks later, it crashed.
See, that's the
into-
Yeah,
mistake
so it's your
you made.
fault, is what you're saying.
You bought Bitcoin. You should have bought Dogecoin.
No, that's even worse. But what's funny is it was at, what, 21,000? Something like that? Was that its peak?
I think it peaked at
It was
19,000.
19,000, and then within 2 weeks, it was down to like 2,000-3,000.
Yeah, it was,
And now it's back up to like 8,000, so it's actually kind of recovered.
and I
it's
even
back to
told
the
myself
upswing, but-
that I should have bought it at 3,000, like just in case. Not 3,000.
I love
like
the people who
$100
bought
rate.
it at $5 and just forgot they had it for 10 years, and then they were like, "Oh, I'm rich now."
Yeah, well, there was that story about the most expensive pizza.
Yeah, he paid it. He bought it with a
He bought it
Bitcoin.
in Bitcoins, and at the time it was like $19 worth of Bitcoin, but now it's like I'm probably way off in this number. It was like $37,000 for a pizza. I was like,
Wasn't that like the first transaction too? or
I think it was the
something, or-
first official commercial transaction
he
because it
bought
was
a
with like
pizza
it was like
using-
Pizza Hut or Domino's. It was like a real pizza chain.
Franchise,
Yeah,
yeah.
it wasn't like Joe Blow's Pizza down the street. It was a real pizza place.
Oh wow, it was a real pizza place.
Well, real fast food pizza
there you
place.
go. There you go.
Are we gonna rank pizza places now?
We
we can.
We-
in our free time, most nights now we sit in front of his laptop making tier lists.
Have you guys
Usually
had,
of food.
No, it's not in the Brandon
like
area.
99% of food.
This is in the Tampa area, not in Brandon, but Gourmet Pizza Company has some bomb ass pizzas. So
We're
Oh no,
there.
we're going through like the basic, like we're going through like Little Caesars, Papa John's, Domino's, Pizza, like because that's all the template we had.
right.
But
Well,
even
if I may recommend a new option to add to said template, Gourmet
Well,
Pizza
there you go.
Company.
Okay.
I've had pizza or Tampa Pizza.
She agrees.
Company.
Wait, what's your name? I don't think I know your name.
So, Joey.
This is really awkward, and this happens
Yes.
a lot for me, and I feel like a major
met
asshole
so
right now.
if you don't know Joe, if you're
and
watching
it's caught
this,
on camera, so I'm doubly fucked right now.
if you don't, if you're thinking
I'm
you
just-
don't know Joey,
Jessica.
I miss Dan.
if you think you don't know Joey, check your Facebook friends list. You,
probably
actually
know.
might know Joey.
You go to any anime convention.
Because last week I was like, oh, by the way, my good friend Joey's gonna be on the podcast, and she's like, Joey who? I'm like, Joey Paris. She's like, I'm friends with him on Facebook. And I was like,
Yeah,
and Thomas is like, everybody's friends with him on Facebook.
Honestly, this happens to me way more than I care to admit.
No, yeah. To be fair, we met years ago, so
That makes me feel a little bit better. I still feel like an asshole, but
no.
but it's not just you. If that makes you feel
No,
any
it's
better.
fine. It happens to me a lot.
Oh goodness, Joey. what
Very
do you-
well. If we could,
Joey's like, if we can talk about anything
anything
else.
else. So yeah, Apple, the expensive computers.
Apple expensive computers still can't fix
Expensive
their
everything.
keyboard. Expensive everything.
Getting
Uh,
rid of iTunes.
Yeah, that's a thing. It's Apple Music now, right?
Apple Music,
Yeah.
Apple
Yeah.
Podcast, which they desperately need to fix.
They're never. Gonna fix
It's been a
Apple
long time
Podcast
since I've
sucks.
used Apple Podcasts, like since Frosty
haven't
Gaming
used-
did podcasts.
Well, I use
forever, and it was-
Overcast now. I don't know if you use
I always
what do you
use
use?
Overcast. They're really good.
I'm trying to think. That might be what I use. I haven't listened
The
to
little
podcasts
the
in a
little
while.
yellow guy, little yellow.
I have a question about
No,
that.
mine's like a red circle thing. but-
For like
Yeah.
with the Apple Music that they're switching to, are they switching more to like a Spotify type of thing?
Basically.
Well, they already have so on like
'Cause
iOS.
I haven't used iTunes like a decade.
Yeah, so on
Yeah, no, me
iOS,
neither.
there's already Apple Music,
Which I
which
Which
is
is a
the
subscription
rival
service,
to
yeah.
Spotify. And so they're basically
gotcha.
and iTunes.
Oh, but they still already have the iTunes where you can still buy like each song.
Yeah, and the problem with iTunes has had for years
Is that it
it's
opens
just-
every time you plug your phone into your
well,
computer?
it does that,
Yeah.
and it's never been very well optimized,
Gotcha.
especially on Windows.
Oh yeah, no.
It's just sort of a piece of junk. So it's
Have
I
they
mean,
improved
one
it with
thing it's
Apple
got
Music?
going for is the organizing your music.
well, that's what's new is Apple Music has always been iOS. So
Oh, is it-
they're
but
bringing
now
it
they're
to
expanding it
they're
to, like,
bringing it to
Android?
the desktop.
Well, it's also on
now.
Android. Apple Music is also on Android.
As
Really?
a separate app.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm
I didn't know
actually
that.
finally thinking about switching over to an Android.
You know, I
finally.
recently switched to Google Music. Or
I use Google.
specifically-
I have YouTube Premium,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
what I
packaged.
did. Is I switched to YouTube Red because it was the they did a 3-month trial for free or whatever,
That's what I did. yeah.
and the music was okay. I use the music sometimes.
Uh-huh.
It was enough to replace Spotify, but what I really liked was I could watch YouTube without ads.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
And you could close the phone,
right. Well, that's
and it would
which is
still play a
awesome.
video. I was like, oh, this was just locked behind a paywall the
Right.
whole time.
So for $6 more a month to go from Spotify to YouTube Music plus
Google,
YouTube Red,
yeah,
Google,
and all that.
all of it, I was like, okay, that makes sense to me.
yeah.
Yeah. So
It's,
also,
it's a
I found the
bargain.
podcast app I use or used to use. I don't really use it anymore. It was Pocket Casts.
Oh, okay.
I really liked it at the time, but right now it's sitting at a 3-star review on the App Store. So
Well, look
it
up
may have
look
degraded.
up the Apple Podcast app. It's probably got like a 2-star. That thing is it's such a piece of junk.
It's-
mean,
they
I
don't
don't
even
think so.
show the rating.
Oh yeah,
Oh, wow.
because that's how bad it is.
It's like,
Yeah,
you don't
it
even-
literally
it's like, you don't even
says,
know about that.
I don't know how good this camera is. It says
Not
no
very
ratings.
Nah,
you
they're
can,
not that good.
Not
you,
that
you,
good.
you can check it yourself.
But it's-
on,
I can't tell you how many times I'd get in my car because like I listen to Rooster Teeth podcast every week.
yeah, that's honestly the only podcast I ever listened to.
And-
was
I
the
listen to a
Rooster Teeth
fuck ton of podcasts.
And I would I'd get in my car and Rooster Teeth podcast number 134 would start playing for absolutely no.
And they're close to 500 now, aren't they?
No, they're
past
past
500.
Are they?
They're at like 550 something now. I
Yeah.
think,
Okay.
or something.
It's been a while since I watched
But
this.
it would just randomly play podcasts from all over the
Because
place.
you have to completely finish an episode and then delete it. Be like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
and
already
it-
listened to it.
It was a mess. And so that's what's scary is I'm like they're bringing it to desktop now, and I'm like, have you fixed it first, or is it just going to be a ported
That's
version
kind of like
of
my
the-
feeling like when I use Netflix compared to like Hulu. Hulu's a mess to use.
I don't have any problems with Hulu.
Well, Hulu, okay.
The problem I have with
Well,
Hulu is
Hulu-
that I pay for it and I still have to watch ads.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta pay
I-
more
Oh, I got
money.
that ad-free version.
I was gonna say, well,
Not only that, it's just the whole thing of like, you know how Netflix, you can literally just pick something and not touch your controller for like the rest of the night.
Yes.
Hulu is like, it's like, doesn't like automatically go to the next episode. They're like,
It does
"Hey,
for
you wanna
me.
watch?"
I'm
serious, and I don't even, I
mean,
go
granted,
through.
in the last like 4 years, I've watched exactly one show on Hulu, and I
Mhm.
did it about a month ago. It was One Punch Man, and for me, it did go to the next episode. There were a lot of ads in there,
Yeah.
but I have ad.
What
Oh,
are
yeah.
you watching it on? That's the thing. Because
Yeah.
the thing is, Hulu has different apps. Like if you
I
watch
go-
on
I
a
was
smart
watching
TV.
on my computer on the website.
Okay, there you go. Because it runs differently on a console, phone,
Okay, gotcha,
smart
gotcha.
TV,
I go
computer.
through the TV, the smart TV.
It
app.
does not work on a PlayStation.
Yeah, no.
Because like
Yeah,
I
I
have
actually-
Hulu. I have Hulu on my PS4. I actually had the Stars add-on for a week because it was free. Could not access it on the smart TV because Hulu was just completely different.
Huh.
Interesting. Yeah, well, because I actually have Hulu through Spotify.
Yeah, it's like a
'cause-
bundle.
Well, yeah, since I signed up for YouTube Music, I went to cancel my Spotify membership, and one of the, like, hey, don't go messages
Yeah.
was, you can get Hulu for free. And I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah.
But all I've watched is One Punch Man, so I don't have a real review of Hulu. but
That's literally the only thing I've
it's
watched.
good.
Like,
Okay, so-
I realized that it was on there. For like past like 3 weeks, I've just like come up.
yeah, that's
watch
the
last
only
episode.
platform I found it on
Yeah.
for season 2, at least.
Legally.
I think
Legally,
Crunchyroll has
yeah.
it.
Like, I'm sure Kiss Anime
think it
has
might have
but
Crunchyroll.
I haven't used Kiss Anime in quite some time.
And then I don't know if you listen. Have you listened to this week's Rooster Teeth podcast?
I'm in
No,
the
no,
middle
I'm
of
way
it.
behind. I
Talking
haven't
about
listened in
podcasts
months.
on this podcast. Gus talked about
I'm listening to it right now.
a
The Rooster
show
Teeth
on
podcast- or-
Netflix. Yeah.
I fucked up my joke. I meant to say the Frosted Gaming podcast, but
Ooh, that's you're pulling out the dark ages.
yeah.
Leets-
You know what
fucked
was
up the
really
joke.
funny? What was really funny? I don't know if Nikki's gonna see this or not. I told my best friend Miles, I was like, "Yeah, I'm friends with this person, Nikki. We've never met, but we chat all the time on Facebook. And I was like, we've never met.
Wait, you haven't met
And
Nikki?
every time we tried to meet, it just didn't happen.
Yeah, it's why
And then I realized I had met her like 5 years ago one time
that's what I was
for
thinking.
the Frosted Gaming
Yeah.
interview.
Well, it's why I actually
I've only hung out with her like once.
Yeah,
or
we're
twice.
not as close as we used to be, but I was actually just at her house this weekend for her sister's graduation, and I
okay.
told her I was going to be on the podcast.
Oh,
this
well,
podcast.
there you go.
And
Hi,
I'm here
Nikki.
now. So I'll message Nikki.
The cream
to
of the
watch
Oreo is better than the cookie. Thank you.
yeah. No, yeah.
She likes the cookie
Who
more than
thinks-
the cream.
Oh no, I always, whenever I get it, the cookie, I always, and then you proceed. To
Oh,
eat
I appreciate both, but the cream is better than the cookie.
I mean, they complement.
Yeah, but
each
it's so
other.
much better with milk. That's
Of course.
Yeah, that's the important part of Oreos. I personally feel.
But okay, so what I was saying, what Gus was saying on this week's podcast, he's watched a show on Netflix called the Hyper Hard Boiled Gourmet Report, and it's the
Okay.
show. It's a Japanese show. It's on. You can watch it on Netflix here. This guy basically goes to places and interviews people. Most people would be too scared to interview, like mafia leaders and prostitutes and ex-children soldiers who live in graveyards.
Like Uganda.
And he's just like, Liberia. He went into,
Yeah.
and he's just like, hey, so what are you gonna eat today? And he literally just figures out what these people eat, like what their
Okay.
meals look like, and it's just so funny that like he goes up to these like children soldiers in Liberia, and they're like all sleeping in this graveyard. They all live there. They have no home, and it was
This is
ins-
interesting.
At the
It was
beginning,
it was a really cool show. Like,
the beginning, it kind of reminded me of have you the Conan O'Brien podcast?
yeah.
Where you
Conan needs a friend.
yeah, where you just like gets celebrities and just try to make them a friend.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's basically what this was. It's just funny because it's like a timid Japanese guy, and there's like all these ex-child soldiers. And
This is interesting.
it was a very cool show. I was like, this is very very educational.
Sounds something like Kojima would watch.
It sounds like something Kojima would.
Speaking of
Speaking
Kojima,
of Kojima,
Transition to video games because
Segways, as
I'm
we call
the
them.
segue guy.
we're supposed to be a video game podcast. Who knew?
Death
A
Stranding.
vegan podcast?
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Never.
So who's ready for the Death Stranding?
Whatever that is.
Have you
So-
seen the Death Stranding trailers?
No.
Okay.
Do you know about Norman Reedus and the Funky Fetus?
No.
You haven't seen like Norman Reedus carrying around the baby
Have you seen
in the video game?
No.
Okay.
Mads Mikkelsen?
Listen, I
sing?
kind of live under a rock these days. Aside from memes,
What's Joey up to these days?
I work the metric fuck ton.
You writing code all day?
I write code all day. And that's it.
Joey got me
I write code and share memes.
Joey
That's-
got me through some of my homework, but I could never learn programming, so I dropped out.
honestly, the education system with programming is pretty fucked. So
Oh,
I
he
can't
kept
really.
telling me, he's like, "Don't feel bad. This is a terrible way to learn
I
how
was
to
gonna
program."
say, I don't remember any specifics about when you were asking me to help you with programming, but the assignments
I
you
just
were
remember
given
you
were
look-
such bullshit. I'm like,
Oh no.
I can't do this. And
I'm a computer science major myself, and the things I learn are from what I learned from myself. Like,
Yeah, no,
I
I-
teach
I-
myself.
I couldn't get through
No,
it.
I am a computer programmer. I have been professionally for 5-ish years now. I'm pretty high up at a company that does several $1 million a year in revenue. Not a single thing I learned in school has been applied in reality. It is 100% what was learned on my own. We as a company are hiring people, it's your programming education at school is a very small portion
Means
of what
nothing.
you
Yeah,
do.
it's more about portfolio.
Yeah, it's your portfolio, 100%. We care so much more about the
Well, yeah, of course.
portfolio you've made. Even if it's school projects, that's fine, but it's what have you actually done? Whether it's
Yeah.
contributing to open source, school projects, actual things you've done.
Languages.
I just know
that to us
going-
means so much more to us.
I just know going through computer science, because even just getting into the College of Engineering sucks.
I
Yeah.
made people dance in Alice.
What?
You do not remember Alice?
Oh, Alice, where it's like
Oh.
the drag and drop.
Yeah, isn't
all the
that-
codes like
yeah, wasn't
packaged.
that a pseudo 3D modeling?
Yeah,
thing? I
kinda,
never
sorta.
worked in it. I remember
It was like a
when I
game
was in
maker.
high school, my computer science teacher he had a Alice book,
Oh, okay.
but I never read it or learned anything
But just
about it.
going
but-
through the computer science program, even as far as I got, I was like, oh, I appreciate game development so much more now.
yeah,
Because having to do this 5 days a week for how many hours? I was like, no, there's no way.
yeah.
Or 6 days or 7 days a week?
Or 6, yeah, because people don't have families or lives.
Yeah, or
lunchtime?
late hours. I'm good at the Monday to Friday thing, but I get in early. Well, I don't get in that early, but I leave late.
Overtime.
Yeah.
That's gonna be me in a few years.
Sweet.
Wait, we'll talk about this at dinner. But
We'll get there.
Yeah, I was going to ask what you're programming, but that's not interesting to the podcast. It's interesting to me. So
So let's see. So you don't know about Death Stranding?
no, I
Did you ever play any of the Metal Gear Solid games?
Only the one with the super long cutscenes that was on the PS3 and was
That's
2
all of them.
discs.
That's Metal Gear 4.
Metal Gear 4.
Metal Gear
That's the
Solid
only one I
4.
played, and I've only played a little bit. The fact that I was able to give that vague of an explanation,
You
that
watch
guys
it.
immediately
Oh,
knew
yeah,
what I
no.
was talking about. That's
You
pretty
watch it
impressive.
more than you play it. That's how that game
Yes, yes.
works.
Whereas 5 is you play it more than you watch it.
Yeah, but
Well, that's typically what I want in a
but
game.
Kojima
personally.
is known for, if you're playing a Hideo Kojima game, chances are you're just sitting there scratching your head and wondering what is life.
You know
and
that
what,
picture of Jackie Chan, that meme, like the.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you just watch a Kojima trailer. And that's
Okay.
he's got an upcoming game called Death Stranding. It features Norman Reedus, literally, and a fetus.
And it featured music
And a
from-
fetus or holding a fetus?
He's holding a fetus.
Okay.
in a tube.
And yeah,
Connected
that you
to
have to
him.
like
Like
transport.
And it's also part of the collector's edition of the game. You get literally
You get a
baby
life
fetus too.
size in the
Fetus.
tube fetus.
And a briefcase.
Yeah.
But it's just the whole game is just very like, what?
Man, we've come a long way since Halo 3 Legendary Edition, I must
And
say.
the trailer.
Yes.
And the thing about Kojima trailers, he always loves to put like his favorite music in every trailer. So like this new one has music from Apocalyptica.
Okay.
Like this has been an ongoing thing for like MGS5. And you see it now, but like previously, like one of the trailers was Big Boss. Like you couldn't see what he was or anything. He was all bandaged up, and there was just a flying flaming whale, and that's how the trailer ended. So this
I'm
man,
interested.
They're all
so
just
I don't know
drug
what this man's been
trips
on, but he's been
and-
on it for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I get some?
I feel like we should make Joey watch the Death Stranding trailer to get like a live reaction video out
We
of
can
him.
do that. Do you want to do that after the podcast?
We'll do that
before
after
dinner.
We'll do that after the podcast before dinner.
And then it'll be a
You
separate
need to
bonus
you need
content
to
at the
witness
end.
that.
Oh, actually, also there is a tweet recently by Kojima about what Death Stranding is, about like what type of game it is, because nobody knows if
Oh,
it's like
yeah,
a
yeah,
stealth
yeah, I
game,
saw
an
that.
action game.
Zombies. I'm calling zombies right now.
No, no.
I know nothing about it.
This
I'm calling
is
zombies.
the theory that Death Stranding is you're gonna be fighting like ghosts because the death are stranded. So if you kill people, they're gonna just come back as ghosts or whatever.
Or zombies, perhaps.
No, ghosts. Zombies is fucking stupid.
After
I'm
Metal Gear
just kidding.
Survive.
I love you.
Oh my goodness.
I'm kidding.
After Metal Gear Survive,
Now
we're
we know
staying
how
away from
Thomas feels
zombies.
about
No,
zombies.
What it might be is some
So what are your thoughts on The Walking Dead?
I love the comic. I love the first season
my
of the show.
God.
I hate the show.
Are you up to date on the comic?
Not anymore.
Ooh.
Does it get better or is
we
it go
just
down?
had a key issue come out on Wednesday. 192.
Did it go down in quality?
This podcast not sponsored by Tito's.
Dude, that
I was like, what are you doing?
saw that I was empty.
Yeah, honestly, I noticed you were empty a while ago, but I was trying to avoid passing a Tito's bottle. So I don't know where you guys draw the line on your podcast.
This is not a lot.
We wing it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because
He took his shoes off one week and shoved his foot in my
That's
face.
true.
I mean,
he
okay,
was showing
cool.
me his feet.
When we're done with this, we'll show you the last episode.
yeah, something like that.
Let's just leave it at that.
But getting back to E3 because we're right around the corner from it.
Oh, so okay. So,
I knew as soon as I brought it up, Tom's gonna be like, wait, I
no,
got
no,
it.
the
Wait,
tweet.
the
Remember, I
tweet.
mentioned the tweet. Yeah. So this is the tweet from Kojima. Okay, I'm not gonna do this in a Japanese accent. I was about to.
Just read it. Just read it.
Okay, as I'm getting similar questions, so I shall repost. DS is not a stealth game. Could move subjectively, but not an FPS shooting game either. By incorporating the concept of connection, Strand, it's totally a brand new genre called action game / strand game, social strand system. What the fuck does that mean?
Crystal clear.
know,
Crystal clear, Kojima.
he could have written that in Japanese, and I would have understood it equally as much as I understand
I'm pretty
it now,
sure
so.
it was in Japanese and just got translated. Nobody knows.
Yeah,
Nobody knows.
that told me nothing.
Yeah, no, it tells no one. One of the journalists I follow, he retweeted it and was just like, crystal clear. Totally got it.
But I'm
Okay.
gonna buy it. Gonna be game of
So
the year.
E3.
Can we talk about E3 now?
Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
but now can I? This is technically not E3, but I want to.
Okay.
Didn't Nintendo just have a
Yes.
Yes, they had it, but
like a Nintendo Direct like a week ago? Or
they
so?
had one a few
yes,
days ago
yes,
for
2 days
Pokemon.
For Pokemon.
Wednesday.
Okay, can we talk about that? Because I feel like
Yeah.
that's an appropriate
Yeah.
introduction to E3.
Yeah.
I actually thought that was kind of part of E3.
You know,
but
they pretty much the reason why they did that is for their actual E3 Direct. They don't focus that much on just that.
Okay,
one
because
game.
now again, I'm very out of the loop, so I'm sorry for anything
Yeah,
I'm wrong about. But I feel like Nintendo hasn't been part of E3 for a while now. They've kind
Well,
of
so what
done
they-
their own separate
What they
live
started
stream
doing
deal.
a few years ago, they're still part of E3. What E3 specifically actually is the gathering on the show floor from Tuesday to Thursday, where everyone has a big booth set up and that's where you go to demo the games and try out the games.
Right.
And that's where the journalists and the retailers all go to figure out, hype up the games. That's what E3 actually is. What the general public tends to call E3 are also the showcases, the conferences that happen beforehand.
Right, which
right
those
beforehand.
are the things that are shared. That was
Yeah,
what was
those-
on G4.
Right.
mostly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so what Nintendo realized was doing these live conferences costs a lot of money, takes a lot of time,
Travel,
and travel.
stays,
And in the past, you've
yeah.
had technical difficulties, all these issues that can happen. So
Right.
what they figured out a few years back was, we're still going to do E3 and be at E3.
So they have booths and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're
they have
still
that biggest
there.
booth. The biggest booth
They
at
just
E3
don't
is
do a
Nintendo's.
conference.
They just
Okay,
don't do
but
the conference. They just
that's all
they just
streamed.
produce a video and then they just show you a video.
Gotcha.
And what's happened now is Sony has caught on and they've realized, we can do that too.
Is Sony also based in Japan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, PlayStation. Yeah, it's out of Japan. And they realized the same thing just a few months ago. They were like, we can just make videos too, and we don't have to worry about a live conference with
Yeah,
things going
it's
bad.
funny. We kind of do the same stuff at my job now. We're not in video games or anything like that, but we give demos and stuff,
Breaking news.
and all of our demos are either pre-recorded or the page that has to be loaded. It's already loaded before
Yeah.
the demo, so we don't click around. We just open a different tab.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah, so that's what they realized.
yeah.
They're like, instead of
it's safer. There's
Oh, no,
way
for
less
sure.
chance
We-
for
we've
you
had-
to have
we- we've had
complete
times.
control.
We've had times like even just recently. With like an example is like Uncharted 4. They had a cutscene where it started, and the character didn't move at all, and I had to restart it.
and then
Right, and
and
you
then
don't want to do
finally
that
it
on a live
No,
presentation.
like,
That's
with like almost like a million people watching.
Yeah.
and then about a month ago, Gearbox with the Borderlands 3 reveal,
Just re-roll it again.
they had to restart the trailer like three
Three
times
times.
because the frame it was playing at like 2 frames a second. Like it
Wow.
was just total like you could see they were using like the Windows Media Player.
And,
Yeah.
then- and,
Yeah.
and, and
Like,
then,
it was
and
just
they didn't
totally-
go, and they didn't go back to it immediately. It was like stop the video.
And he's like-
Presenter goes back on stage.
he's looking
and-
up
bullshits for a few minutes.
yeah,
so
Can we
it's
bullshit.
re-roll it?
Yeah.
Can we get it? Can we do it again? We're gonna do it again. Okay, and then they'd play it again, and then it would freeze again, and then they would like it was just a very, very cringy thing to watch. And so that's what a lot of these people are realizing now. They're like, if we just make our own videos and do it that way, we have complete
be high
control.
quality.
We have nothing to worry about, and we can
So I do have some breaking news real quick.
And it's
It is
actually
video game
related to,
it's
Uncharted.
related to Uncharted. Tom Holland will play Nathan Drake in an Uncharted movie.
I don't like that.
Um,
When I think Nathan
he,
Drake,
he will be a
I
young
don't think
Nathan
Tom
Drake.
Holland. I like Tom Holland. I like Nathan Drake. I don't think
He-
those two
he-
go
he
together.
get-
yeah, I'm inclined to agree.
He can get jacked up a little bit.
But he's not old enough.
Maybe he has a
A
beard.
young Nathan Drake. That's the thing.
Oh, a young Nathan Drake. Yeah, okay.
Like, is he the
I can
main
see it.
character or like the
No,
flashback?
Nathan Drake is the main character.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. I mean, like, is
He's
Tom
saying-
Holland the main character, or is he Nathan Drake in flashbacks?
Oh, I'm
Probably
sure
gonna be-
if
probably gonna be the
they
main-
if they would announce something like that, it would be that's like
It's probably
the
gonna be
main-
like an origin story
Yeah,
type.
so
Yeah.
this
All right,
would be
origin
this would
story,
be
maybe.
this would be a dream right here. Tom Holland be young Nathan Drake, Nathan Fillion be old Nathan Drake.
I'd take that. That's what everyone wants.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
not
he
what-
But
already
like if
played
he's
Nathan
playing
Drake
like
in that
young
fan
Nathan
film.
Drake, like
Hear about
that
Firefly
doesn't
season
really,
2?
What?
Yeah, me neither.
What?
that wouldn't fit with any of the games because he's actually a little bit older in all the other ones.
Jessica got it.
You got me.
No,
That really got
why
you.
Why you getting my hopes up?
yeah, I know. Anyway,
All right, so yeah, sorry about that. That was breaking news.
speaking of E3, what was funny, what we discovered last year, because we got to go to E3. We're not going this year because we're poor.
I'm still very jealous that you've been to E3. That's something
okay.
I've
If it
wanted
makes
to
you
do
feel-
since I was like
I
12.
didn't get to
and-
meet Adam Sessler or Morgan Webb. I
I-
hunted
I-
them
that-
down the whole time, and they weren't
Yeah,
there.
that's.
But I got to go. It was
Like
fun.
literally like by the second time we went, he was like, if you see a
Oh,
bald
you've been
man-
twice.
Yeah,
we went. We went past
he was
Wait,
like
wait.
the second time.
Real quick, Joey, would you like to go to E3 this year?
When is it?
You have about 4 days to.
Oh,
I
yeah,
will quit
no,
my
yeah,
job.
not a
Okay,
chance.
Didn't think so.
I'm supposed to go to Japan in November, and I still haven't bought those
And
tickets.
you didn't invite me?
Wow.
I'm going with my girlfriend and her parents. I don't
Wow.
know if it'll really be fun. for
I can be your
for
interpreter.
third parties. Her dad's actually he's 100% Japanese. She's half Japanese.
I can be
And
your.
He works there every other
I'll
month.
be your
so-
resident weeaboo. Like I'll do all
Okay,
the
that's
cringy
good.
stuff.
Yeah, that could help.
And then
I can
yeah.
be like Agent 47, just take the place of your girlfriend. You won't even realize it.
I think you would.
Her
notice.
parents might. Well, actually, no. I would definitely notice. Her parents.
Agent
might
47
notice.
is a master of stealth.
Yeah, sure. Okay. But what was funny about E3 last year was Microsoft learned a way to save money. They were like, we own the building right next door to the Los Angeles Convention Center. Why are we paying for space in the Los Angeles Convention
When we
Center?
can just have people come over here.
That's exactly
And
what
we
they
didn't
did.
realize that until the day.
They had
Until
the fact
the
it took
day
them
of day
that
one.
long to come up
They
with that is
had-
kind of astounding.
Well, they bought it a few years ago. It was the Nokia theater.
Okay.
And then Microsoft bought Nokia, so it became their theater, and then that's what
All right.
that's what happened.
all right. Okay,
But
there's some logistics involved.
what we saw last year in the sort of hub area outside is called LA Live. We see this
It's
building
pretty much right in front of Staples
that's
Center.
plastered with the Xbox logo all over it, but you couldn't see inside at all. So
Because we saw like Microsoft Theater, so we thought, oh, that's where we're doing the conferences, which is
we
where
just
where
thought
they
we're like,
did.
oh, we're not press, we're not anyone important. We
Right,
can't get in there. And then once we're on the floor, we kind of noticed, we're like, where's Xbox
Xbox?
at? We don't see Xbox anywhere.
That's because they were.
And then we realized that's where they were, and there was a line outside, and you go in, and it was like Club Xbox. It was green lights everywhere. They had game demos everywhere for all the Xbox One games.
Yeah.
We got to play, oddly enough, if you went to the Square Enix booth that year to demo Kingdom Hearts 3.
3 hours.
I waited, a friend of mine, hi Aaron, Stevie, if you're watching this, you're probably not, but that's okay. I waited in line with her. It was the final day, and I just wanted to hang out with her. We waited about 3 hours, I think, to play the Kingdom Hearts 3 demo.
I played like 10
was a
games while you guys
20-minute demo.
were in that line.
Is
uh,
Kingdom Hearts 3 out?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's been out.
It
Is
came
it
out in
good?
January. It's
Should
good.
should I get it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you played the other games?
Yes,
No.
but you will.
No.
You can watch this cool show called Ultima Gaming, and
Yeah,
this
dude.
really good looking guy talks about it.
Really?
Well, not according to
And
one
then you have a
person.
girl
And
who
this
seems
one-
very confused
And
about what
the female co-host was like,
Kingdom Hearts
3?
3?
She said with a question
Well,
mark.
according to one person, apparently.
We're not going there. Yeah. But what was funny, we realized because Kingdom Hearts 3 was the first game to be on the Xbox platform,
Right.
Xbox had a demo of Kingdom Hearts 3 downstairs, which no one knew about. So if you went there to play it, it was a 20-minute wait.
As opposed to a 3 hour.
As opposed
Yeah,
to a
so
3-hour
pretty
wait
much
over at the Square Enix booth.
How
where
it
everyone
went down,
was.
like we left a little bit early day one.
Yeah.
And then we were like, oh, and they let us in, and they're like, oh yeah, if anything, we'll be open tomorrow at 9, and then the E3 floor wasn't open till 12
Yeah.
the next day. So we're like, oh, so we have really free reign for 3 hours to hang out at the Xbox booth. So pretty much we were there. We were like, it took us like 5 minutes to get inside.
Yeah, we ran
and we were
downstairs.
and we were the first like group of people to go inside, and then within 5-10 minutes we already played Kingdom Hearts 3.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it was amazing. But it's just funny.
Yeah,
It's
All
like
right, so now
that's-
this is slightly off topic. You guys have been to anime conventions, right?
Yeah.
Like general nerd conventions.
You going to MetroCon this year?
I am, at least for one day.
Okay. I
so
might see you there.
My,
Beam's doing the booth again.
my-
Oh,
oh, yeah?
We'll
I'm
see.
going again.
I'll
Okay, I
come
might.
drink while you're at the booth.
There you go. Joey,
He's not.
by the way, I want to mention real quick. Joey has been like an honorary member of Ultimate Gaming from day one. He's been
Yeah.
one of my biggest supporters. He's always had my back on the shows, and I appreciate
I
you.
try my best. I wish I had
Appreciate
more
you for
time,
that.
but
You've never been featured in a single video of ours,
You've been at all of our
but
panels.
you've been a member on all of our panels we've done at
have I been
conventions.
at all of your panels?
You've been on
I
all
did
of our
not know that.
panels.
I knew I've obviously
Yeah,
I knew I've been at some
you're
of your
the one
panels. I didn't
that
realize it was
provided
all
You
of
provided
mine.
the sound gear and everything.
Yeah.
we had
Yo,
panels.
actually, I will right now on camera. I will donate that sound gear to you because it's been riding around in my trunk for 3 cars now.
Oh, sweet.
And
Probably
I've used
illegal
it-
at this point, depending on
I've
the frequency.
I've used it at exactly one Frosted Gaming podcast.
Nice.
And I've used that was it. Every other use that set has ever had has been on an Ultimate Gaming podcast.
Nice.
Or panel or whatever.
I bet they're illegal now. You'll have to check.
they may be.
Because 2 years ago, the FCC sold off a frequency band,
Okay.
and there's a good.
Well, all the more reason for me to give it to you and donate it. So
and I'll
I look
and I'll
like a man
ship
of
it to
charity
Cuba
and you're a criminal. So
because that's
it's-
all I can do. But yeah.
Pirate Radio.
So
So-
you can have them. I don't have the amplifier anymore, but you can have the wireless mic set in the whatever the middle part is
Okay.
that connects it to
appreciate
the
it.
amplifier. It's in my car now, I think, actually. So
You know what? I just remember my trunk is full. I'll get it next time.
I'll take it.
Thomas will take it. There you go.
I don't know what I'll do with it, but I'll take it.
You can start your own radio station.
Exactly.
there you go. It's got like
Welcome to Pirate Radio over in Thomas's house. Oh yeah.
Thomas.
We're running down to Cuba.
Alrighty, and on that note, what were you saying about anime conventions, Joey?
Yeah.
oh yeah, right. Yeah, I'm
A lot of
glad
smelly
you
people
remembered
there.
because I forgot.
There are a lot of smelly people at anime conventions,
So
and we love you all.
so how does E3 compare to anime conventions when it comes to partying, drinking.
So the partying is all there. They're huge exclusive
They're,
parties.
they're a little bit more exclusive. They're not like open invite type of thing. You kind of like have to know your people and
You gotta know someone to
your
get
way
in.
around downtown LA to find them.
Gotcha.
Because like you can go to the toppest building of LA and go party. We're aware of that. But like if you
we
don't,
stood outside a party, if that counts.
Okay.
Because we
Okay,
couldn't
well,
get
well,
in.
My point is, listen, I go to anime conventions to drink with people I don't know.
Yes.
And I would love to go to E3, but E3 is doubly awesome if I can go to E3 and also drink with people I don't know.
You can
so-
easily find people to drink with you don't know.
Oh, no, for sure.
It may not be
Okay.
in an official party
it's
setting.
just because
but-
like there's like a lot of media and industry. It's a little bit more
Yeah.
professional than like an anime thing. 'cause
You
it's
know,
more like-
okay, so here's the story I don't think I've actually shared with
Probably less orgies.
on any official like published media.
Oh, sweet.
I shared with friends, and it's me ending up in a party I should not have been at.
Okay.
Well, actually, I don't know if I shouldn't have been at, but a weird party. I don't know how I ended up here.
Was it a furry orgy?
That's a different
Promise.
story. Okay,
Mike down.
no, but you've been on a panel where I talked about the BDSM thing at. It wasn't on. No, it was on the expo. My first on
I
the
wasn't at
expo, and
Omni.
That sounds like my kind of.
I ended up at a BDSM party with Ben. We did not.
That
know
sounds like
we were-
something that would happen to the two. Yes.
Yeah, we didn't know we were
I
going
do
to a
remember
BDSM
this
party.
story.
Anyway, we'll save that for another podcast. But weird party. So have you guys? I'm sure you've heard of Steven Universe.
Of
Yeah.
course.
I was at a convention. I think it was MomoCon. May not have been MomoCon. Could be a different con.
Metro, Mega, Matsuri. There's a few M's out there.
So anyway, I end up at this typical hotel room party. If you've ever been to an anime con hotel room party, nothing out of the ordinary aside from the fact it's a hotel room. Somebody happened to have a suite.
Bunch of
and
drunk weebs.
A bunch of drunk weebs.
Yeah.
That was it.
The usual.
And I'm there. I'm drinking. Surprise, I know.
You?
Yeah, I know, right? It was wild. Broke my sobriety for this party.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm sitting there and I'm talking to the guy who it's his room and it's his party or whatever, and just having a good time talking about. I literally have no memory of what we were actually talking about. I'm sure
Sounds
it was
about
con
right.
related or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was either out of a drink, I had to go meet somebody in my hotel room. So I had some reason to leave the party.
Uh-huh.
And I'm leaving the party, and there's hotel staff outside, kind of like basically telling everybody who's leaving, you can't go back in. This party is shut down. And I'm like, this is weird. I've been at plenty of anime hotel room parties that have been shut down, and they come in and say party's over.
Yeah.
Not wait outside the door and be
Don't-
like, hey, you can't go back in because the party's over.
Yeah.
So whatever. I'm like, hey, I was just talking to the guy whose room it is. Can I just go in and tell him? So I go in and I tell him, and he's like, oh, cool. Thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate you telling me. And then I dip out and go do whatever the fuck I was doing.
Yeah.
The next day I found out one of my friends who was also at the convention with me is like, yeah, I was talking to the voice actor of Steven from Steven Universe, and I thought we were cool. And then he was talking to some other girl, and so I found out about his hotel room party and shut it down. And,
Oh.
and I'm like... So this was a explosion of news for me.
Oh my gosh.
The fact that my friend was talking to the voice actor from Steven Universe. Now, I don't watch Steven Universe.
Yeah.
Which is why the next part is like, the other part was, oh, I was talking to the voice actor for Steven Universe and had no fucking idea because I don't watch Steven Universe. I'm sure it's a fine show, but I just never mind. I'm like,
Right.
but to find that all out immediately, it's like, not only was I talking to a theoretically very popular voice actor, one of the people I'm at this convention with is the person who shut down his party.
He's the acoustic guy playing Wonderwall.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall. And everyone just dispersed.
Wonderwall.
Nope, that's
Yeah, so,
copyright.
so that's
5
my weird convention party that I ended up at that I don't know why I deserve to
That
be
got
there.
shut down.
How I ended up at that party.
But if anyone could
that's-
just randomly end up at a party, it'd be you.
it is me.
If
and that's-
anyone would just randomly, hi, I'm Joey.
It would just be Joey and Ben.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how it's happened, but the number of times I've walked into parties that I don't know anybody at, I do not deserve to be there. It's
Mhm.
It's just like, here's a drink. Well,
Stat-
all
oh,
right.
well, if you say so.
if I may give any advice to people looking to get into parties like that, like exclusive parties, have no idea what the fuck you're going to, and nobody who's there, like, don't recognize any celebrity, and they'll be like, oh, he must be cool because he didn't freak
That's
out.
probably
I'm
a
like,
much less stressful scenario. There was one guy we wanted to meet at E3. His name's Todd Howard. Very big.
See, I could go to his party because I have no idea who the fuck that is.
Okay, Todd Howard, basically man behind Skyrim and all those wonderful
Fallout
games.
and everything.
Yeah, all those. So he's head honcho for that company. We saw him. He was in. So YouTube is one of the partners for E3, and they do their whole live stream that you can watch, and they interview people. We kept seeing him kind of go in and out of that area. And so like me, and Danny, yeah, we're all sitting there, and I was like, "There's Todd Howard," and we would just kind of watch him. And it took us about 10, 15 minutes to finally work up the courage to even just ask for a photo. And then I got one, you got one, and then right as our friend Danny showed up, he's like, "I gotta go back inside," and he just bounced. But it was like, it'd
Yeah,
be
I
much
think I might have
easier if I was just like, "Oh, that's some popular guy. Cool, how you doing?" You know.
No,
selfie.
I in fact, also at MomoCon, ironically, might have been the same convention just by coincidence. If you've ever been to MomoCon, there's the CNN Center, which has like a massive food court, which is where everybody eats because
Convention
food
food
that-
is.
food
Yeah.
that's not
That guy.
overpriced convention food.
If you ever
I
see him again.
don't know.
Have you ever seen him again? That's the dude.
You'll see memes of
Okay.
him. There's plenty of them out there.
And I was eating lunch with a bunch of friends who ran into this YouTuber,
Uh-huh.
and they all went and took pictures with them. So I also took a picture with him.
And you know who he was.
No idea who he is.
I-
Still don't know who he is.
I do that to a couple people when I was at E3 because E3 is like, you have not only just the gaming press, you have the big
Oh, yeah,
YouTubers.
well, and that's a celebrity.
The basketball
point.
player.
Yeah, there was some guy. He's probably like 70 years old.
Was it Charles Barkley?
No.
No.
Real tall, super tall white guy, and his name escapes me now.
Well,
He was easily like 6'8", 6'9", just towering over everybody. And he would really like raise his hands, and everyone started cheering. And I'm just
yeah,
like,
and then
who
he-
the hell is that
and,
guy?
And then he put it, and he asked me, and I remember who he was.
And I like
at the
snapped a
moment.
picture of him, and I sent to my mom because I was like, maybe she'll know. I was like, who's this dude?
Actually, that does remind me because basketball. Charles Barkley, Barkley 2, the game Barkley Gaiden or Barkley
All right, there you
Shuffle
go.
Jam 2.
Bill Walton.
Bill Walton. There you go.
That game got
Everyone knows that
canceled.
name. Charles Barkley had a video game?
And it was there was like an RPG.
Wait, okay. It doesn't. This joke is not nearly as good if you guys stop talking.
There's a joke going on.
I was just gonna keep whispering
Joey's
into the
doing some
microphone.
ASMR over there.
Wow.
Hey, here's our podcast.
Yo,
I was gonna say what people don't tell you is you can whisper into microphones, and the audience can hear you,
Yeah,
but none of
nobody
you.
can.
Can.
Hey,
But you guys
Just so you
could
guys
hear
know
me
that.
because I'm. A
Oh, I
very
didn't hear
bad whisperer.
anything. I was just like, he stopped. So I was like,
I
why
don't-
did
I
you
don't-
stop? And then I
don't-
heard the audio
I
from
don't
over
care
here.
what Tom's talking about it all right now. Just so you know. Okay.
Okay, well, let's actually talk about E3 now.
E3.
Oh yeah, we should
More
actually get to
E3.
E3.
The thing that is
Tangents are
coming
my problem.
and it's here just about.
Luigi's Mansion 3.
Luigi's
playable.
Mansion 3, that's confirmed playable. Pokemon,
Pokemon.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3,
Is that
There's
the
one other.
new Pokemon game?
Sword and Shield. That's the
Sword
new
and
one.
Shield. Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's the new big one for the Switch. It's the first mainline Pokemon game we're
Is it
getting
first-
on a
There's
console.
Pokemon Eevee and Pokemon.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Those are
Eevee,
like
let's
little
go
side
Peach.
games.
Yeah, see, because
There's just remake. There's like Pokemon Go versions of Gen 1.
Okay,
That's
okay.
literally what it is.
Okay, that's what I thought because I almost bought that, but the time I actually ended up at the store where I was going to buy it was right after they announced Sword and Shield. So I was like, you know what, I'm
Yeah.
just going to wait and.
Yeah, get Sword or Shield. Those are.
No, like,
I miss when
let-
they had the third game that was the middle game.
Oh,
then I could
Well,
just
yeah,
buy
that's going to
that
be
one.
Pokemon Gun. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. And that's going to be the American edition. And you know I'm right.
oh, no,
As
we-
much as you hate to admit it, you know I'm right.
I don't hate to admit that. That's right. That's
Yeah. So. But yeah, that's going to be probably their big thing.
Animal Crossing's gonna be their big.
Animal
thing.
Crossing is insanely popular.
Okay, it's my girlfriend's been bitching since January 1st,
Yes,
2019.
because last
that
year
there hasn't been any announcement
was
about
it,
Animal
was
Crossing.
it last year?
It was last
Yeah.
year.
Last year
It was
it
last year.
E3?
They literally just showed like an image.
No, it was for the.
Or
Smash,
it was the direct. It was the direct.
They-
It was the direct. They just showed.
they
Isabel,
announced-
So it was like October, September.
They announced Isabel,
Yeah, and it was
who
that
is
same
from
announcement.
Animal
They
Crossing.
announced new Animal Crossing.
And then at the end of it, they like teased, "Hey, new Animal Crossing 2019."
But
Yeah.
it
And
was
that
just
was-
like it was just an image. They didn't even have a name or anything.
And that was
Animal
it.
Crossing.
And that was all we heard for 8 months was that. And everyone's
No,
like, "Where is it?"
Has it been confirmed it's going to be at 3? Yeah,
No.
3, or are we just
At this
assuming?
point, it has to be because if they're saying it's 20, unless it's been delayed and they
Hey.
haven't told us.
Have you heard of Half-Life 3?
Yeah, the game that Valve says they're never going to make.
It's
now.
gonna be at the PC game show. Just watch.
No. Valve says they're never going to make
At
it.
the PC game show.
Did they
the
actually say
lights
that?
are
Is
gonna,
Yeah,
the-
because they realize at this point they
this
can
point, it's too
never
late.
live up to the expectation of what it
and
will
then
be.
and then the main writer and everything like that like actually came to fire.
He actually like dumped the script online at one point because he was like,
Yeah.
"Here it is," because we're not going to
Yeah.
do it.
It's never gonna happen.
Well, that's shitty, but I also think they just have a fear of the number 3 because there's
well,
also
absolutely.
no Portal 3.
They're like, we can't make some of the team from there. They're like, well, we can't make Left 4 Dead 3,
wait,
so we're just gonna go make
no
our
Left 4
own.
Dead 3, no Half-Life 3, no.
Team Fortress 3.
Because the guys who
Team
did,
Fortress
the
3,
guys
no
who did
Portal
Dota
3,
3.
Oh, today it was also announced Blizzard apparently had in the works a first-person shooter StarCraft game.
They canceled that.
No,
canceled that.
I feel like I've
To
heard
work,
about that a
but
long
they-
time
you know,
ago.
yeah,
they did, but
They
canceled
canceled
it.
that to work on
Diablo.
and Overwatch.
Overwatch 2, baby.
Maybe with
Wait,
the story
what
mode.
would they do in Overwatch 2 that wouldn't
Story
be
mode.
Hats.
More
okay, yeah.
Porn.
We already got that.
You
Not
have
that
a
I
loot
would know.
box, and when you
Because
open
I
it, it's
feel
another
like
loot box.
Overwatch could just be an expansion. Like if they wanted, rather than buying a whole new Overwatch 2, it seems like it would be better off just buying some sort of expansion.
Unless they
It's that
like
Activision.
unless
They'll
they
get you every
completely
time.
change like the gameplay mechanics, like completely different.
That Activision will get you every time. They did the same thing with Destiny.
Destiny 2 is going free to play, just year 1.
You know what? I put over like $200 into Destiny 1, and I was disappointed
Joey,
every time.
I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I'm disappointed in myself.
Yeah.
Gosh.
And I
200.
thought about Destiny 2, but everyone said it was better, but then 6 months later I was like, yeah, I got bored and stopped.
Yeah, the
playing.
only
So
game
I'm
I've
like,
ever spent like $100,
Yeah, exactly.
I'd say over $100, and then just online stuff is League.
Final Fantasy 14 for me because they have Fantasias, which is $10. It lets you change how your character looks. Plus, they have like stuff you can buy on the shop to make your character look better. You can buy mounts. You know, you gotta buy stuff for your virtual doll. Okay.
All right, do the mounts go faster if you pay for them?
No, they just look cool.
Okay.
Like you can get like the newest
But-
one is like a
But
flying
League
carpet
of
you
Legends
can buy.
skins though.
We gotta get you out more, Thomas.
You can get Odin's horse. You can ride.
I don't think
Odin's
anyone
horse.
in their life has ever bragged about you
Odin's
buy a
horse.
mount for your fictional thing.
Yeah, you can buy a whale. That's $30.
You know what? You're part of the problem.
No, I haven't bought the whale.
You're the reason
You
we
are
have-
a
You can get Cloud's.
microtransaction
You can get
fanatic.
Cloud's motorcycle from
Mister,
Advent Children.
I get bored
Okay,
of
I
games
would
2
actually
hours
pay
in.
money for that. I
Okay,
will.
$30. You get Cloud's motorcycle from Advent Children.
Yeah, so this guy here,
Yeah.
this guy here, Ian's friends with him on Switch, Nintendo Switch, and you can
No,
actually.
it was on yours. It was on yours.
It was on mine.
Yeah, it was on yours because remember you put it in because we were playing Mario.
Oh, he's not
Party.
friends with
Man,
him.
could you
Why would that-
imagine being a company so out of touch with online play? You're friends with somebody's console and not them.
Yes, yes, I'm friends with his Switch, not him. Why would I
Yeah.
be? But on his
I
Switch,
love you, Nintendo, but Jesus fucking Christ, get your internet
Yeah.
shit together.
you're paying $20.
Even
Come
voice
on.
chat.
You're like 15 years behind schedule. Like,
No, they are.
But what's funny, so on the Switch, you can look at people's playtime for all the games they play,
Okay,
like how
yeah.
long they play. 90% of his games were at 2 hours or less.
Yeah.
And it's like, finish your games, Thomas.
if
I
you
get
look at my
bored.
Steam profile, it's the same. I probably have
Okay,
like.
I understand. Okay, Steam is understandable because they have so many
well,
sales.
yeah,
they have
between
so
the
many
sales
games.
and the Humble Bundle, I probably have $5,000 worth of games that I've actually spent like $400.
I completely understand you because I've done the same.
Hey, we still need to make that program
But, like,
that I talked about.
half the games I have on
I
Switch.
vaguely remember
that I
it,
still
but-
don't think exists. The one that like it'll scan your hardware and it'll tell you like the cost, like
Oh,
the value.
right,
I
right.
still don't think that exists.
It probably
I
doesn't.
can't find it anywhere.
So yeah, half of the games I have on Switch I've already played
idea.
before. So like Skyrim, I've already played that before. Bayonetta 1 and 2, I've already played
There's
that
there
before.
was
Play it again
there was plenty
on
of
the
other
toilet.
ones.
That's the joy of
Breath of the
Switch.
Wild, which I just got that again.
Have
as
you
a
guys
birthday
played
present.
Skyrim on Switch?
Yes,
I
I
have
have it
not.
on Switch.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Because I loved it on the Xbox,
I mean,
the
you know what?
360,
The
and
best
PC.
thing about it being on Switch, you can play it on the go.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking. Because my girlfriend, she bought it for the PS4 and has not opened it since she bought it.
Ah.
And she's had my Switch since I got it. So, but
It's
she
our,
was
it's
talking
our
ab-
Switch now.
Yeah, pretty much. And
Yeah.
so she was thinking about buying it. I'm like, okay, maybe, because Skyrim on the go seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, but it's like a full. It is Skyrim.
It's
like
Skyrim.
You,
It is
you get the full experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the big rumor for Switch is Witcher 3 is coming to Switch,
Evening Witcher.
which is we'll see. That's a very intensive, hardware intensive game.
Yeah.
Oh no, for sure, and that's
Um,
probably the best Western RPG ever made.
Probably the
in my
weirdest
opinion.
thing Nintendo has done to port a game is Resident Evil 7. They did in Japan.
In Japan only, and it's online.
It was a streaming thing.
On the Switch?
Yeah, and
Is
it
that-
had.
Do they have other streaming games?
No,
No,
it
it's
was-
Japan only.
It was like that only in Japan, and it had to be docked for it to work because it needed the extra juice
To stream.
Yeah.
Not to render, to stream.
to stream
Stream.
Resident Evil 7 to the Switch.
Interesting.
It was a very weird thing
Remember,
they
it's
did.
still Nintendo, where you have to download an app to voice chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you just
So, don't
voice
be
chat
Hey,
on
Doug
Discord.
Bowser.
Yeah, fair point.
Hey, Doug Bowser, you're the new guy in charge. If you really want to make a good first impression, first year, get some integrated voice chat into the Switch, maybe. So I don't need to use this to chat with people.
No, that's why you just
Thank
use Discord.
You know,
You can use your phone.
Well, I
I should say
shouldn't
part,
have
of,
to.
part
You
of me,
shouldn't have
part of me
to.
does agree, but at the same point,
You shouldn't have
I've
to.
been using Skype or Hangouts or whatever.
You still use
since-
Skype?
Skype?
Well, not really Skype.
I was,
but-
I was like, wait a minute, it's
but-
2019.
But my early 360 days, it was pretty quick where I gave up on the in-game chat and just used a third-party chat program.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, because switching between games or even switching between consoles, sometimes we'd be playing on the Xbox and then we'd switch to a PC game, and it was annoying to, all right, well, I'll log off.
Disconnect
Great.
this
I'll
party.
meet you here on the PC.
Yeah.
All right, are we going to use the Blizzard chat or do you want to use Hangouts? And it was easier to just, we had whatever chat platform we were using, and that was.
See, I like
It
the
was
Xbox
detached from
360
the
party
game.
chat though. Like the invention of party chat.
Yeah,
was
I
great.
mean, the invention of party chat was great, but did you ever use those headphones?
Oh, I love the 360 headphones. I mean, they
How many
broke.
pairs did you have? Because
I mean, they
felt like I
break
had to
very
replace that every
easily.
2 weeks.
Yeah,
'cause,
no.
like, it would
As
fall
somebody,
apart, but-
That
as
was my
somebody
fault,
who,
my bad.
as somebody who worked at a GameStop for 2 years, and I got,
See how
I,
nasty those things get?
Oh yeah.
People bring them in their
I mean,
yellow.
but I do agree that
I don't even want to. I don't even want to get into the conversation about nastiness with consoles because y'all people don't know how to take care of them. You know how many consoles I open with dead
There's
cockroaches
this
inside?
cool thing called compressed air. It's air in a can. I know you got to buy it. That sounds wild, but you can spray it and it makes the dust go away.
No, not even dust. I've seen cockroaches.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
multiple times.
The
in
PS4
consoles.
is like a roach city.
No, from PS4, from what I saw, from when I worked there, it's just it's dust city. PS4 definitely collects the most dust I've seen of any console
Yes.
because it has the little air vents at the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like literally all around.
Yeah, the intake is
So literally,
I have a
I've
lot of
gotten
questions about
console
what my
like
PS4
just
looks like
straight
right
like
now,
regular
'cause
consoles that
I
have just
haven't
been
used it in a long
browned out
time.
because of all the dust.
That's grody.
And I don't even like clean it. I'm like, yeah, I can't take this. I'm not even gonna clean it.
I'm so mad. Xbox this week released a purple Xbox One S. Looks sexy as hell. Comes bundled with Fortnite, and I'm like, I can't support that. I can't buy that.
I have a hard time.
Comes bundled with a free game.
I was gonna say I have a hard time supporting a free game.
But you know what? I'll give it to this guy.
Okay,
The guy
wait,
that made
actually-
Fortnite, he donates money to save the rainforests. So
Okay.
you know what? It's okay.
I could support that.
Okay, I
but
can get
okay.
behind that.
So I was at Best Buy over the weekend,
Uh-huh.
and I saw Minecraft on disc. Do you know
Alright.
how much Minecraft on disc was?
$40.
$60.
It was $40.
Yeah, no, that's the retail price of Minecraft. $40.
Wow.
Do you know what I bought Minecraft for?
Like $15.
10.
$14.73.
Yeah.
I
got
had to
yeah.
convert my money to Swedish money. I don't know what Swedish money is.
Yeah.
I couldn't even
Swedes.
buy it in American dollars.
Yeah,
and now I'm buying the same fucking game. Now,
Jeez,
granted,
that's
it's come
what's
along.
You don't know. No, it's gone from
And I'm
14.
paying $40 for the same license to a game I already own for $14.
I didn't even know that.
fucking
Because
bullshit.
last time I saw it was
that's that Microsoft magic
$26.99 to
because they
buy
own
it.
it now.
Yeah, and that seems wild.
And even that's.
And don't get me wrong. Honestly, I've spent more time in Minecraft than probably any other game, but Halo. But still, how are we gonna go from $14 to?
That's that
40,
Microsoft
that's-
magic.
You get that
They love it.
That's
cross-platform play
bullshit.
though. You can play with people on the Switch and PC.
That's like the people I had 2 people today with computers that I had to work on that were still running Windows XP.
Hey,
I saw your status.
You know
I had
what?
a guy call me. He's
Hunter,
like,
actually
I want to
have a-
upgrade my computer.
Hunter?
I'm like,
you can't fix what ain't broke.
no, it's
It's
too
very
late.
broke.
XP ain't broke.
It's very broke and it's very not HIPAA compliant. Which one
Yeah.
of the businesses was a healthcare provider.
Wow.
oh,
with
they
a-
were business computers.
With an X, yeah, it
I
was,
actually
it was a
do
Windows
have-
XP server.
I do have one programming script that is still running an XP computer. I even ran it today. I run it every Thursday on an XP computer.
And at my job, we still sell DVRs that only run on Internet Explorer 11. They will not run on any modern browser because I think it uses JavaScript or something
Wow.
like that. But imagine just buying a new DVR and you open up Chrome to use it. And it's like, oh, that don't work. You got to use Internet Explorer
Oh my god.
11.
11, which was the last one. But I can't believe the same day I had 2 people with Windows XP. It's like I have this old Gateway computer. I was
Is
like,
Gateway even still in business?
No, they died in like 2005.
Same.
Same.
Relatable content.
Internally. But I'm just like, man, update your computers, idiots. I hate Windows 10 though.
I mean, yeah, I went
So
to Windows
s-
10 and now my computer's dead because of that.
Yeah.
Just download it again, and then you'll have Windows 20.
Download some more RAM. It'll fix it.
Download the
Oh, I
RAM.
love downloading RAM.
Oh,
I get off on that.
All the time.
Not gonna lie. So do you guys always record in this?
yes. This is our studio. It's very fancy.
Do not stop.
Mm-hmm.
Have
stop.
you guys considered? Maybe it's worse because you have a fifth person here. Normally you have 4. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, 3,
For right
4,
now.
4,
5.
4, maybe 5.
Sometimes.
have you guys
6 on
considered
rare occasion.
angling these tables kind of like those tables? I think it would work better with the camera. I'm going to be honest because I feel like
Joey,
I've been looking at you guys
I
a
knew I
lot
invited you for a reason.
because I I just feel like I'm trying to look at you guys and I'm like realizing I'm not looking at the camera at all. But if we were at like a little bit of an angle, I could.
Well, a lot of guys don't look at the camera.
I
It's
look
just
at the
kinda
camera a
there.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, like
I-
I tried to be like, I'm looking at the camera.
Yeah, so I
and
wanna-
It's like, I don't know. I don't
I
want
want
to
to
well, it's
balance,
creepy.
We'll
and just a
experiment.
little bit of an angle. I feel would help with the balance.
You know
of,
any cheap studio space we can get?
No,
do.
I wish I did. That was something when Frosty Game was the thing that I looked for so
Yeah.
much, and I just.
I've looked high and low, and
Do you have
It's
any
not
place
easy.
in your
Do you
apartment?
want to go
or
to
house?
Clearwater?
I'll drive out to Clearwater.
I
Okay.
actually work by Clearwater, so arguably, it might.
We'll pick you up on the way there, and there you go. Perfect.
It might possibly be easier. Who knows?
I got a guy who owes me a favor.
Ooh.
You know a guy?
How long
I
can
know
that
a
favor
guy.
run? Can I use the studio every
He
week?
said I could use the studio whenever I wanted
Are
because
you the
I
mafia
modeled
or
a couple
something?
times for a
You
few
could
classes.
use the
Sorry?
studio, or
Are you the
we
mafia?
could use the
Does the guy
studio.
owe you a favor?
Don't worry about it.
Just pictures of her feet.
None of your business.
Um,
Speaking of pictures of my feet, how are we getting to either?
Feet?
Hey, listen, I
Feet,
will.
you
That's what we're
totally-
gonna-
I mean, I don't want to necessarily offer your feet, but listen, if there are people out there who want pictures of my feet that can fund our E3 trip,
Thomas?
apparently, which is happening,
Yeah, if you want
I have
pictures
no
of our
problem
feet.
selling pictures of my feet. I want to make that abundantly clear to everybody involved.
yeah, Joey, there's a foot for everyone.
Yep, and I'm. Feet don't do it for me, but if feet do it for
Oh,
you,
they don't do it for
Quentin
me either.
Tarantino, if you're watching,
But I'm telling you,
you got feet.
E3 money don't raise itself, and
Yeah, so
clock's
listen.
ticking.
I
Yo,
We
if
gotta
any of
do
you want
something.
feet pics of me, I don't want to offer Jess's feet. Jessica.
She's like,
Okay, so she offers it like both of us.
our friend Dan
Um,
is like, I can't go to E3, I can't afford it.
I'm
And we're
sorry,
like,
I don't remember your name.
Ian.
Ian, if you're okay with me and Jess doing like
Foot
group
pics?
foot
That's,
pics,
Ooh,
that's
nice.
just more
That's
money
hot.
in the bank. That's
like we can do some collab shit if that's what you're into.
I mean, Quentin Tarantino will buy that stuff.
Collab feet
He loves
photos.
feet.
Listen, I don't know, but if people are willing to pay, I'll
You
figure
should,
it out.
you should just do like a Patreon thing and be like $10 a month for some sexy pics, but you don't ever specify what they are, and then you just. Send
I'm
them a
pretty
foot
sure there's
pic.
like collab ASMRs out there. I'm pretty sure you could do collabs.
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
P-
But I'm just
picture
saying,
feet.
be like,
Yeah.
I'll send you some sexy pics for $10 a month, and then you send them feet pics. And
Yeah,
you go, well,
hey,
I didn't-
listen,
it's sexy to me.
If
doesn't
there's
mean-
demand out there for my feet, I'll.
Yeah, you just got to be vague about it.
Yeah.
It's like buy my feet, and then for half the price, you get Margaret's feet.
Hey, I'll even
Margaret's
send you pictures of my feet at E3.
There you go, and that way you'll know your money will have gone to a good cause.
Right. That's how we verified. We spent the
And
money
we'll
on
get
what we
Joey
said
caught up into the gaming world.
Yeah.
And if you
That's right.
donate $1,000, you'll get my feet on Abbey Road, just like Paul's feet. That's where Paul's feet were.
Wow.
That's now
That's a
we're
hell of
trying
a
to get
deal.
money here.
Trying to get money. You have Hobbit
Well, no,
feet.
I'm not saying my feet. I'm just
Hey,
saying
listen,
as an
you
example.
said there's a foot for everyone. There are people into Hobbit
Yeah,
feet.
but you haven't seen these feet. They're
Hey,
and no
a
one
good-
wants
a
to.
foot-
No!
Hey, you can no because if you show that now, you're showing it for free.
Yeah, yeah,
and we're
yeah,
here
yeah.
to make money.
Yeah,
Show
yeah.
it to Joey.
No.
There is
no.
a
Well, we can
camera-
look at that after the podcast.
I want Joey to
yeah.
come back to the podcast.
Well, that actually feels
not
pretty good.
Run, oh,
Yeah, well, keep
Trust me,
it, keep it
disgusting
feeling under the
images of
bed.
feet are
Before
not going
this
to
divulges
stop
any
me from
further-
coming back.
I want to thank y'all for watching.
Yeah. No, we've been going for actually about an hour now.
Oh, hey, that's about on
57
par.
minutes, if I recall.
About on par for us.
59 minutes. we're
Ah,
at
it's
an
2
hour.
minutes off. Fuck it.
We are
No,
at an
well,
hour.
we still got a minute to go.
We're at an
So in
hour.
that case, remember, for realsies though, feet pick or no feet pick, you can go to patreon.com/VGX7.
You guys have a
Support this
Patreon?
pod. We do.
Yes.
I did not know that. I will subscribe to your Patreon.
Thank you. I
Bless
was
you,
our
Joey.
highest subscriber for
And
$5.
then he pulled it.
And then I pulled
And then he
it.
pulled his own. Yeah.
I need the money.
Motherfucker. Do you know how many Patreons I'm still subscribed to that I have no interest in subscribing, but I'm like, if
Help
I-
the dream.
If I unsubscribe, they're going to be like, oh,
Help me buy G4.
yeah, you unsubscribed. Like,
Help me buy Adam Sessler.
I listen.
Or
I will do
X-Play.
that not through
All of his
Patreon.
hair
But
locks.
Or
Through-
better
through feet
yet,
pics.
we can buy Portal. You remember the show Portal?
Portal was good. It was a good game and a good
EverQuest?
show.
I remember the game.
No, the show where they like.
It was a G4 show.
It was basically
Nothing
like
to do with the
early
game.
machinima where like the dude is hanging out talking with like weird people in EverQuest.
It's a real show.
It's a real show.
I'm
Definitely
sure
a
I
product of
watched
its
it.
time
I would probably
if you watch
remember
it.
if I saw
Yeah.
it, but I.
It was cool.
Like, I remember just the Mushroom Man just always talking. Like, that's EverQuest. I want to play that game one day. Never played EverQuest.
Thank you guys for watching.
On that note, well, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for watching Everything Went Nothing
I
Need.
may be back. Who knows? This is
Joey,
fun.
hope
I
it comes
miss
back.
doing
Joey,
podcasts.
You're always welcome.
we loved you having on here.
Do you guys
You're-
have a panel coming up? I
Not
like the
officially.
live audience.
I can get one. I can get one.
Yeah,
No,
my
we
last
will.
live panel kind of shit the bed because it was at Hallmat, not this most recent year, the year before, but it was at the same time slot as Hottest Men in Anime, and
We can't compete with that.
I am not going to try to compete with Hottest Men in Anime.
Not
it
at all.
was
Not at all.
No.
I will.
And then last time we had a panel at Holiday Matsuri, they scheduled us at 1 in.the morning,
Perfect time.
and
Mm.
4 people showed up. I was
yeah.
like, "Thank you, Holiday Matsuri." Just kidding. I love you. There's a
Hey, great con. I will be there. That's one of the few cons I'm going to this year. Will you guys
I will
be there?
I will be there.
No,
Ian
why are
told
you
me he'd
not
be there
going?
last year, but he wasn't.
All right, that's
You
a
got 6
legitimate
months. Take
reason.
off.
I need money.
Well, not if I take off for Metrocon and my surgery.
Surgery, you can work through that. You're fine. Thanks for watching Everything You Want, Nothing You Need. Patreon.com/VGX7.
I'll be at home. I may be on other episodes. Who knows?
Hopefully. We love you, Joey. You're
My
amazing.
life's a gamble. I don't even know.
Joey's a gamble.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
I love you.
Bye.